Welcome to the Femdom Revolution podcast, where we believe in ethical female-led relationships built on a foundation of compassion, integrity, and authentic connection. We're redefining feminine relationships and dominance in the scene and letting go of the idea that a woman has to lead through masculine tactics. Whether you're a dom honing your natural leadership or a sub seeking strength through surrender, this space is for you. I'm Creatrix Chalice, and I invite you to explore a new path to love, growth, and empowered connection. So today we're throwing out our plan because sometimes we just need to go with the flow. The thing is, as we set up today for the podcast, Essie and Amaya and I made Traveler wait in the waiting room of the video call for a good 25 minutes because of an alleged mic check, which we didn't actually do because we were processing feelings and stuff that comes stuff. Traveler whacked his finger. You'll pay for that later. Stuff that comes up just because we're living a life together and things come up and we have feelings, and we're sitting with the feeling for a moment of like, oh, are we in the mood to film? And I know for myself, and I know Essie and Amaya have experienced this now too, there are times where something difficult could come up right before it's time for a call. And there are moments where it makes sense to reschedule. But there are also times where it's not actually the thing to do. Like, we get to show up as we are and do our best from where we're at and flow with that and be with that. And I know for myself, that feeling sometimes of like, oh, I don't actually want to be recording right now or filming right now or whatever it is, actually comes down to, oh man, guys, I actually have a lot I want to talk about that I wasn't prepared for. It actually comes down to me not fully accepting where I'm at and wanting to be somewhere else, like somewhere else within myself, which reflects externally as me wanting to be somewhere else, like physically, like not in the recording studio, for example. And so I proposed that we just got on and we talked and we shared and we opened up and kind of reflect on where we're at in our processes right now. And like, what is the thing that we're working with? Like, what is that raw energy that we're processing? And also in the hopes that you, as you're listening, you might relate in some ways, but also not like you needed it, but maybe it gives you permission to be present with yourself and your processes, maybe in another way or on a deeper level. So that's what we're doing. And thank you for being here with us.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for suggesting this, because it felt like so good to, sometimes it's nice to have the structure, but then when the permission does come to be as we are in this moment and just express that, I feel like there's a different angle where we're able to touch each other and others. And
sorry, I distracted her because when she said touch each other, I made a face.
I'm trying to hold it together right now, guys, but this is like a really great example of it. Like, we're touching each other. I'm just going to say that again. We apparently can't take this there was seriously, but in ways that are so real and raw and from our hearts, like from where we are right now. Mm-hmm. So that's really important. And we get to get a little bit of humor out of that too.
Yeah.
I agree completely. And it's funny, the timing on these things, because I saw a post on Instagram just before we got on that said something along the lines of, you don't have to have your thoughts together to talk about something. You know, sometimes when we're going through things, we might be trying to figure something out, or you want to have all the details lined up before you approach it. But sometimes it's okay to just go, hey, I'm dealing with this. I'm having a hard time. Let's talk about it. Let's talk through these thoughts and feelings and emotions. You don't have to have it all figured out. And in fact, sometimes talking about it can help you figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely.
That's a really great reminder too, because I'll just share on a little bit of a personal thing. Sometimes when I'm talking to new people or making a new connection, I will seriously sit there at my phone making a voice note for like 20 minutes before I send something. And the last time I did that, I realized I really just need to stop doing that. It takes up so much time. And the more I do that, I feel like the less authentic it starts to feel. I'm trying to remember the sentences that I liked from the beginning of my message. And it's like, it makes so much more of a difference to just be ourselves than to try to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. I use this example often. So I know Amanda and Essie have definitely heard me say this, but it really drove the point home when I heard this fact. So there's maybe you know, maybe you don't, but there's something called shamanic drumming. And it's a certain like beat per minute that shamans will usually use. Basically, it's a pretty constant drumming of a hand drum. And people will go into trance. So they will you can have some really deep journeys with shamanic drumming because you're able to really, really relax and let go and go into yourself. So scientists, or maybe that's just the word, I don't know who did it. Some nerd maybe tried to replicate the shamanic drumming, but with technology, because shamans are flawed. So they're not actually keeping this perfect beat per minute the whole time. So maybe we'll just make one that's with tech and it's calculated. So it's perfect. And they found that people wouldn't go into trance with this thing that was so refined and perfect. And that it's actually the flaws and the humanity that allow people to really relax into the trance and the journey and themselves. That's what the shamanic journey is. It's you going into yourself and knowing that you have somebody there holding you and keeping time with you and creating that space with you means the world actually makes you feel safe enough that you can go in. And that key piece there being and the shaman isn't perfect. And this ties back into what I was telling Essie and Amaya before we hopped on call with Traveler, or the episode that we're on right now. I, for a long time, didn't want my subs to see my flaws or see me in a moment of what I would consider weakness or not my best or whatever I want to call that. And I saw, especially in this last year, the power of my vulnerability and opening up and sharing the parts of myself that I would genuinely have considered ugly and might still sometimes think are ugly. Sharing those parts with the tribe, with my subs, with our community. And it was terrifying and very uncomfortable, but was quickly met with love. And so those really raw parts that I was trying to hide that just kept perpetually being tender and raw and painful, they were met with love and a healing salve. And I watched our community really blossom and open up, and all of the, I can't say all of the subs, but those that are present and engaging, also opened up, followed suit. And it's been really good for all of us. And it takes every single one of us to decide, make that decision in ourselves. You know what? I am going to embrace my imperfections. I am going to embrace these flaws. And I can see, I would way rather follow someone that's real about when they make a mistake or that they're not perfect than someone that's I know it all. I am the end all be all. My word is whatever. I would not be able to do that. I would fight that versus readily embracing the flaws that are shared. So yeah, thank you for not being afraid of my ugly, guys, or sometimes being afraid but not running away.
It really does inspire others to open up. And I might be a little biased, but of course I think very highly of you. And for a long time, I wondered, how does she do it? How does she handle all these connections with different people and all these calls and making content and doing all these things? And when that was hidden behind the curtain, I had this image of you basically just being this superhero. And when you kind of showed us a peek behind that curtain and see that, hey, even she struggles sometimes, even she deals with overwhelm and has these challenges, it really deepened our connection and allowed others to open up and share as well. And I think that's a really beautiful thing that really does help develop the connection and makes it easier to relate. And for me personally, you were talking about at the beginning how there's often times where when you're going through something, you don't feel like being on a call or recording or jumping on a podcast. And for me, especially when we first started working together, I was really going through it. And it seemed like every time we had a call, it was on an off day or I had something happen and I was going through it. And there were several times that I told you I was this close to canceling the call or rescheduling. And that was me wanting to run away. That was me being afraid of being vulnerable, of letting you see me struggle. Because to me, I was like, she's not going to want a sub that can't keep it together, that is struggling. Like I wanted to be perfect for you. So it was scary at first to let you see how much I was struggling, because I really was. But when I allowed myself to be present for that and open up and be honest with myself and with you that, hey, I'm having a hard time. I'm not doing well. I'm struggling with this. And then you held me in love and compassion and worked through it with me. That was a really beautiful thing, and it really deepened our connection. So that's where the good work happens, is in those moments of vulnerability.
Yes. And it's so funny because you just mirrored back. It's not like funny, haha, you were struggling. It's funny, like you just mirrored back what we were talking about before we got on, where it's, and also what I mentioned earlier, where things can come up before calls or before something big. And like that was happening for you. That's like a strange phenomenon that I've noticed. And I know Essie and Amaya have as well, where it's like something really big might just happen maybe 10 minutes before you're scheduled to get on a call. And then here you are like, feeling really, really raw. And the fact that that was happening for you too, it's so beautiful because it just shows me like, well, I knew for myself before I had Essie and Amaya as like, what's the word I'm looking for? Reference, like another reference point, that this was a phenomena. It wasn't just a coincidence. It was like a thing. And it wasn't a bad thing, even though, gosh dang, was it so like not always the most welcomed experience on my part. But hearing that from you too, it just makes so much sense, because when we're feeling raw, like we are more open generally. And honestly, I just kind of pictured if you want to glue something together, generally you sand it down. You sand down the two sides that you want to bond. So they are a little bit more rough. And then you add like the adhesive, and then it's a solid bond, which is actually like really cool to think about, because I can see how that shows up in relationship over and over. You have something you want to say, Mr. Traveler Man?
I was just going to say that that's a really awesome metaphor. I've never thought about that, and that really does make sense.
I don't know. I never thought about that till right now. Probably because we're feeling raw. But it was your reflection too of saying, oh, this is happening. Like it is a phenomenon on the sub side as well. And as you like, obviously I should have seen this a long time ago, but something about this moment has things kind of clicking into place, and that's really cool. So good job showing up because I did see you in a mess, and I know that's got to be scary. And it's something like, I'm really good at making men cry. and I know, because I see like how scary it is when men are moved by so much emotion that it's like you're not hiding it anymore. And there's something about like us being together in that moment that they're finally able to like soften and let those emotions move. And I can hear and see it's like a simultaneous relief and also like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I'm not supposed to be doing this right now. And it takes a minute, obviously, but like I can see this like programming of like, hey, men don't do that. Like that they have to kind of like at least pause that program to let themselves have their process.
Yeah, that's something that I've had to learn, especially growing up without a father. I kind of navigated what it meant to be a man on my own. And of course, as we've talked about, and as we all know, there's some not so great ideas out there about what that looks like. And I remember growing up, I was proud for a long time of the fact that I never cried in public or rarely ever cried at all. And what I didn't realize is I was really suppressing my emotions. I was running from them. I wasn't allowing myself to feel things. And I was proud of that. I thought, hey, I'm a man. I'm tough. I don't feel things.
It's like a Boy Scout badge.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Has never cried in public. Pin that on my shirt.
And sadly,
Your
that's
stash. What do Boy Scouts pin their stuff on?
I think they have shirts.
It's a vest.
Girl Scouts.
Yes. Okay. Do Girl Scouts also have vests?
Yes.
Yeah, and sashes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You were a Girl Scout.
I was a Girl Scout.
Were you a Boy Scout traveler?
I was. I actually
I
found my
thought so.
vest the other day.
Cute.
I don't know where mine is.
Oh, man, let's throw out that artistic idea I just had. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, pin that never cried in public on your vest. There you go. Bringing it back.
It's sad that there's a lot of young men growing up with that mindset of, hey, I'm tough. I don't cry. I don't feel things, because it's absolutely detrimental to your well-being. And what I've experienced is when you do bottle those things up, when you do run from your feelings, it's like trying to run from your own shadow. You're never going to get away. And eventually there's going to be a big explosion of those things coming up. So the point I was getting at here is it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to allow yourself to feel things. And again, I think back to, I actually went back and re-listened to the audio recently of one of the early messages that me and you sent to each other, where I shared about my father. And I'm just I'm in tears. I'm bawling my eyes out. I can like barely talk. I'm like hyperventilating. And to see the progress that I've made from that moment till now, I mean, there were times where I couldn't even form a sentence. I couldn't even get my words out. I was so overcome with emotion. But by actually opening up and sharing and allowing myself to be vulnerable and feel things, now I have so much more control over that, and I can articulate what I'm feeling. I can be present with the emotion, and it's not overwhelming anymore. And yeah, it's scary at first, especially if, like me, if you ran from your feelings for most of your life. I'm 31 now, and I would say this journey is only a year or two old. So for 29 years, I avoided pain. I avoided feeling things. And so it was scary at first. It was like standing at the base of this mountain and thinking, like, I'm never going to be able to overcome this. I'm never going to be able to handle this. But the beautiful thing is, when we started working together, I think of you kind of like a healer. And we talked about, right before we started filming, about you ladies being like guardian angels. And the thing with a healer is they don't fix the problem for you. They don't come in and heal you. They come in and they show you how to heal yourself. And so by being with me in those moments of vulnerability, you held space. You made me feel safe to be in pain, to be vulnerable. And you helped me learn how to process those emotions, to cycle that energy. And slowly but surely, I started moving through. And one step at a time, I've been working my way up the mountain.
Thank you so much, Traveler. And I have a lot I want to say on this. First piece. Oh, I'm deciding which one I actually want to speak first. Okay. It's a story. It's a story from last night because you were speaking about the healer. And I had an experience last night that was very uncomfortable. And as I was going through it, I was like, oh, the discomfort and the pain actually like pushed me to the thing that I needed. Thank you. So basically, and I don't know where the heck it came from, but I was miserable last night, you guys. I sent a quick text in our family chat to like tell the crew a little bit about my night, but they haven't really heard it. But basically, there are a couple of things that I think happened. I think I had a really early morning yesterday, and I went to my room so tired, but I had some things that I needed to do before I went to bed. So I did those things. But by the time I got out the other side of doing those things, I had a second wind. So I was up later than I should have been. Now, here's like a really weird fact that maybe won't be fact for so long, but for the current reality, it's a thing. I used to be so allergic to rabbits. And as you know, I have rabbits, and I like to live in my room, and they're on my bed and like everywhere that I am. And I snuggle my face into them every single day. And I deal with a little bit of allergies with them, but I know when I'm not well rested or very stressed, then I have more of like an allergic response. Like my body's just not as strong. And I felt my eyes like were so tired. My body was so tired, but I wasn't yet sleeping. When I finally laid down to rest, I had like such an intense allergic response. Like even today, like right now, my eyes might still be puffy. I got the kind of crazy stuffy congestion where it's just like my sinuses closed or something. And I didn't even have any like, sorry, gross, but like I couldn't barely even blow my nose. Like it wasn't that kind of stuffy. It was like just congested, so congested. And I tried sitting up to clear it. I propped my pillows so I was like laying down, like kind of like sitting up and breathing out my mouth, and my throat was getting dry and it hurt. And I'm like, I can't sleep right now. I tried 40 minutes of that. It was torture. And then like the thought occurred to me, I have this medicine. It's a medicine that 2 elders from Brazil brought to the area that I'm in, and they shared. And I've had it before, but I bought some from them, and it's called Sananga. It's an Amazonian medicine. It's made from a root. You put it in your eyes. It's a liquid, and it burns like a mofo.
Oh yeah, it's a good burn.
Yeah.
It's intense. Yeah, for sure.
And the thought occurred to me, I need to go get some Sananga. And it was such a full moon, and it was just like, this was 11:40. I got up finally to go put the Sananga in my eyes, and I'm like, this is such a weird hour to be doing this. But actually, is it really? Because the thing with Sananga, I'm not going to get all into that medicine right now, but it really improves your night vision. Like, and I haven't used it at night very often. So I was like, this is actually kind of cool. This is actually even better. I feel like this is probably the prime time to be using this medicine anyways. So I put on my purple fluffy robe that Traveler got me that I love. And I waddled my little butt downstairs, like, oh, I can't breathe. And got my Sananga, and I laid on the ground in our living room, and I put a drop in each eye. You put it in the corners of your eye, and then you open and wiggle it into your eyeballs, and then it hurts really bad, and you breathe really deep, and you're just like, woo, you know. And I was in even more discomfort because this medicine hurts. And that is one of the gifts of this medicine, is you get to face your pain and do your best to relax into it. And so it's almost like Wim Hof, where like you're actually stressing yourself so that you can relax. You're going into the discomfort, so like discomfort is actually just not so uncomfortable. And I did do this with the hopes that it would clear my congestion. Like I was just inspired that, okay, actually, I think this will do it. So yeah, I sat with the Sananga. Finally was able to blow my nose, and I was like, I hope I'm not waking up my whole house, because like there was no like, it was like when you're throwing up, you can't be quiet about it. At this point, I'm moving through some stuff, and I'm just honking my nose, and I hope everyone's sleeping. I'm sorry if I'm waking you up, but it's not like I have to do this. Then I waddled my sleepy little butt upstairs with my incredible night vision. It was great. And I laid down, propped up. I was able to clear some stuff out, but then I was still stuffy. It was like that kind of stuffy that whatever you get out, it doesn't really matter. You're still stuffed. But I laid down, propped up on my pillows. I slept so weird last night, but it worked. And like within 10 minutes, I was breathing out my nose with my mouth shut.
Wow.
And I was like, yes. But also, I don't like sleeping on my back. It's pretty uncomfortable for me, but I will do it. But I know I should do it more. And Traveler and I have talked about this a lot, actually. And there are phases where I enjoy it, but I like to be a side sleeper or tummy sleeper once in a while. But yeah, I'm on my back. Like, okay, this is actually like, I feel so much more space inside of my body and my mind when I'm like actually open. And that's the thing with sleeping on your back, is you're open and you're vulnerable. But I was finding a lot of comfort in that. And here I am in like the darkness of my room, and I was feeling the two elders, the shamans, abuelas, healers, basically, that brought the medicine and the work that we did together while they were here. And I felt their presence with me as I moved through what I needed to move through last night. And it's basically, so this story is just bringing it back around to what you said. Like, they didn't fix that for me, but they did provide me with tools. I had to like be proactive about that. Yes, I would like that medicine, right? And make my exchange and receive the medicine and take it home, and then be proactive about, you know what? I need to do this for myself and get up in the middle of the night and do this painful thing because that's what I needed for myself. And yeah, so I can see where all of this is tying in with like the pain and the discomfort, and then also like the relief and just the being with ourselves. And the other thing that you reminded me of that I pulled up is you had mentioned something, Traveler, about like, it's like running from your shadow. And there's this Rumi poem that I've loved forever. And I shared it like years and years ago on my Instagram profile with like some weird artistic photo I took that like sometimes I look back at the things I posted and I'm like, okay. I'm very happy that you're very confident in sharing your art like that. And I still love them, but I'm like, wow, that took some cajones. But the strange thing is, when I looked it up just now, I realized that there are two parts of this poem, two more paragraphs that I wasn't aware of. Like, I didn't know about them until now. So even now, like, there's like a new light that's shining. But I'll read it for us. How does a part of the world leave the world? How can wetness leave water? Do not try to put out a fire by throwing on more fire. Don't wash a wound with blood. No matter how fast you run, your shadow more than keeps up. Sometimes it's in front. Only full overhead sun diminishes your shadow. But that shadow has been serving you. What hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. Your boundaries are your quest. I can't explain this, but it would break the glass cover on your heart, and there's no fixing that. You must have shadow and light source both. Listen and lay your head under the tree of awe.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Whoa. It always stopped for me at your boundaries are your quest. But it's interesting, the glass cover on your heart piece. I'm like, I'm going to be sitting and unpacking this because I was picturing and trying to describe that earlier today. And now here I am opening this poem and it's like, Rumi put it into words, yo.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I really love that because personally, I've been feeling kind of fragile, like I'm made of glass or something, and that's that. Like, how did he say it? Basically, that glass cover on your heart, like, cannot be repaired or replaced.
There's no fixing that.
Yeah, no fixing that. So it just makes sense in these moments, like that tendency to want to like close everything up, like nothing can touch this, because it's so precious and valuable. And then also being here with you guys, like being able to process some of it and to know like you're safe around my glass heart cover. And not even that, it's it's that, and that life in general is really looking out for us and protecting us and watching over, what is most precious. And I'm trying to like tie this into how the glass cover actually can't be broken. Like the heart is the heart and will always be the heart. And so that glass cover, how protective is glass really against like a true threat? And so, yeah.
Oh, man, this is so wild because I feel like I'm interpreting the glass cover differently. Like almost, for example, for me, the way I'm relating to it is that fear of vulnerability and believing that it's a weakness kind of thing. And technically I broke that. Like that was the glass cover protecting my heart. And now that I know the truth, which is that doesn't serve, like that can't be repaired because I know better than that now. Even when I try to like fix that glass, it's clear that there are cracks. And so I'm like, it's only a matter of time before I'm like, get rid of this glass. And then I open back up to like the heart. So
yeah, I love that.
Have you ladies, I'm sure I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, but kintsugi? It's the Japanese.
The pottery.
Yes. So it's the Japanese art of mending broken objects using gold or silver epoxy. The Japanese believe that when something has suffered damage and has a history, it becomes more beautiful.
Yes, it's been within this year, but a couple times now. I keep looking that up, just pieces of that kind of bowls or whatever they make it from online, because I've wanted something like that. And Chalice has told me, like, maybe we should do that with one of our own things. I think it would be a process, but I think it's also a beautiful idea to do that with something of our own that's broken, because it's like our essence and our bowl, like something we've been using, and to create something new from what's broken and even more beautiful than it was when it was brand new. I really, really love that you brought that up.
Yeah.
And it puts more inspiration into the idea of making that happen.
Yeah. I have a gorgeous mug that I bought as a wedding present for one of my cousins. And that was like 8 months ago, and it broke on the way home. And it's just been sitting on my dresser this whole time because it's too beautiful. I can't throw it away. So it definitely needs to become that. But we need to get some gold or silver.
Yeah.
Something pretty. I think gold would be really great.
Yeah. Yes. The thing is, you remember my dragon mug? So like I had this really, it's in content in my, it's places, okay? At some point you'll run into my dragon scale mug, and it's got like glaze over the top, like dripping down, and there's dragon scales. And when that broke, one of our dogs jumped on it on accident. And I broke with that mug. Like I'm not going to get into all of what that meant for me and the ways I was even subconsciously relating to that mug. But when that broke, I broke. And I picked up all of the pieces. And I was like, this is so, anytime something like this breaks, I'm like, all of this is so just freaking relatable. Let me pick up my broken pieces now. Let me see if I can piece myself back together. And I was looking into this, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I don't have the word in front of me, but this art, if you want to do it like food safe and like do it right, it's such an intense process. And so like, technically I don't want to rule it out for us,
This is really funny. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah. Mending our broken pieces and making something more beautiful. But like, I don't feel like I have the bandwidth to, or the time or the whatever right now to invest in all that would be needed to learn this art and then carry it out. But there are people that specialize in this and do it in the traditional way. And so you can mail your broken pieces to them and they'll mend you.
Wow.
Or your dish. Yeah. So there are like crafty ways that you can do it, but it's like I have gold paper. I have like things that we could use to make it look like, but it wouldn't be exactly. And it wouldn't be food safe. Yeah.
That's really interesting to think about because of the process that it takes to mend ourselves and our broken pieces and how much care and detail goes into that. And then what you're saying, we all have different areas of focus in our lives and where we're putting our attention. And sometimes in order to repair something, we go to someone, we go to a healer, we have them take their skill, their focus, and gift us with some of their energy to help build ourselves up. And we have this exchange. And that's pretty cool.
I'm getting chills where this conversation is taking us today. And I'm so grateful that we were all like willing to go with the flow and be here as we are with all of our feels and have these conversations, because I hope you, listener, are enjoying this as much as we are. Let us know in the comments. I need to get used to saying things like that.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments.
What do you want to hear about?
We really do heal in relationship. Like we can do a lot on our own, but to truly heal, that happens in relationship. And I agree completely that this is such a beautiful conversation. Because again, I keep coming back to this, but I think about when we met, I truly felt broken. And I had this mindset of, that's it. It's over. Like, I'm broken. I'm worthless. I'm never going to be anything. Like, I'm not a real man. I'm just, yeah, that's how I felt. And so the fact that you really surrounded me with love and support and helped me reframe that brokenness to see it as a gift, to see it as this incredible opportunity to heal and be able to help others. Because the way I see it now is I'm thankful for everything that I've gone through, because it gives me perspective and the ability to help others when they're struggling, when they're going through something, because I've been through so much. And so it's really beautiful that I've been able to reframe that. And now I see my brokenness, my pain, what I've been through as gold.
You know what? You just connected for me too. Because when you found me, you were looking for someone to break you more, basically. And or that's what you thought you were looking for. But when I think about my mug, that day that my dragon scale mug broke, and I'm pretty sure I even said it out loud. And my friend that was with me at the time was like, I don't remember what he said, but it stopped me from doing it. I don't know if I would have done it if he wasn't there, but I basically expressed the desire to pick up what was left. And there's earth below. Like, I was on a patio, and then there's like maybe like a 3-foot drop, and there's clay, like pretty hard clay earth. And I just wanted to pick up my clay mug and smash that shit into the ground. I wanted to just like, that's it, you know? I was looking around at all the pieces, feeling like this is going to be impossible. I'm never going to be able to use this mug again anyways. I don't want to deal with what it would be to pick this up and put it together. But somehow I wanted to pick it up and throw it on the ground. So technically I had what I needed to pick it up anyways, right? It was like the mending part that I was like, feeling defeated and feeling sad, and it's never going to be the same again. And that's true. It's never going to be the same again. But that doesn't need to be for the worse. And for my own thought experiment, there could have been like an energy I could have had that was ready to really let it go and smash it into the soil and let it merge with our land and let that be a beautiful thing too. But where I was at in that moment, it was not, I wasn't there. It would have been like me acting out and causing myself more future pain, because I would have wanted to mend things and I would have ruined my opportunity if I would have acted on the impulse to just, screw it, so the mending work. Mend and fill with gold.
It's a beautiful process, and I'm so grateful to be on this journey, because there really was a point where I thought I was past the point of no return. And it's just almost unbelievable to me that I've come so far in just the matter of a year or two. And gosh, this feels really vulnerable to talk about here.
This is not the space for vulnerability. How many times have I said it?
That was so cute, though. He like puts his shoulders to his gosh.
That was really adorable. At first, I thought you were starting to cry. I was like, yeah, show them what we're talking about. All right, get vulnerable. We're here for you.
So you already know this, but about 6 months before I met you, I actually almost took my own life. I felt like I was that far gone, that there's no way I could ever overcome my struggles. And I felt like I would be doing the world a favor by just getting rid of myself. And again, to see how far I've come from that moment where I was in that much pain to now really just being full of gratitude and life and love, and I'm excited for life. I'm excited for what I'm doing. I'm enjoying life. I just never thought this was possible. So what I want to say to all of our listeners is, no matter if you feel like you're too far gone, it is possible to recover, to grow, to heal. You're never too far gone. But what it takes is being brave enough to be vulnerable with others, because you're not going to do it on your own. You have to be able to be vulnerable with others, and together we do that healing work and we heal with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I really think it's sometimes the hardest things that we can say out loud that are the things other people need to hear. And I'm sure there's someone out there that that's going to make a world of a difference for. So I appreciate you for being vulnerable like that and sharing that with us. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. And thanks for not smashing yourself into the soil.
Yeah. We love having you around. Like really, it's amazing from the first moment that I talked to you on Discord when I entered. You were one of the people that just held me in that space. You made me feel so comfortable because for those of you who do or don't know a little bit about my story, I took very baby steps coming into this world, and your spirit was just so great for me to come into. And even it's amazing to me to see over the course of time how, you've become more and more real in my life because our relationship has become stronger and I know more about you. And I couldn't have known from the beginning where we would be now, but it's been so beautiful to get to know you and see your process. And you're definitely like a strong light in this world. And I just am expressing gratitude and appreciation, and really hopefully some level of grounding that you are so important and you matter. And I know you know that now,
and don't you forget it.
It's during those moments, because we all have our are moments where things get a little bit heavy, a little bit dark, like, or a lot of it. And
I was going to say, I was like, wow,
lot
that
of
must be
it.
nice, just a little.
Yeah. Let's be real here. And just to have these reminders, these moments where we're interacting with each other and we are reminding each other that, like, hey, guess what? This isn't about just you and what you're going through right now. This is about us, and that we need each other is really important and very, very important piece.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That really, I'm almost at a loss for words, but the thing that really keeps me going every day is knowing that someone out there needs me. I don't know who it is, but the reason that I'm here, I truly believe the reason that I'm here is to help others. And by telling my story, by being vulnerable, even if it helps one person, that makes it all worth it.
For sure. Yeah. I think that's a really big piece of the human experience. We are social by nature. We're here for each other, and our lessons are intertwined. And so the moments where it feels like, man, I want to give up on myself right now, because I've been there too, where it's like I'm in the same spot over and over again. Why am I such a failure for being in the same place in myself, where I'm beating myself up and I feel alone and I feel like I want to hold this heavy wall around me because nobody should look at me in this state and I'm not good enough and I can't do it. And then there's just something, there's like a little crack where something slips through and someone gives me a hand. And then there's a choice we have in that moment to reach out and advocate for ourselves. And it is like, it's both for ourselves, our process with our own development, but we're not alone in it. And we're here for each other. And that's the fuel that keeps us going, that keeps us moving forward, and knowing that we aren't failing because we're having a hard time. And it's not like one moment or several dark moments define who we are, what our character is. We always have that choice. And it can be at any time, at any age, at any moment. That opportunity doesn't get taken away from you. We get to determine and take the reins and hold the medicine of our own self and our own energy and our own life. And it's unique. Nobody else holds that same medicine. And it is really a beautiful thing. And the beauty is not just the good stuff. It's also the darkness that gives us strength during the good times and where we can reach out to another person.
It's the bitter with the sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need the night to appreciate the day.
Exactly. The balance.
And I love so much that we get to do this and do this with each other. And we have that, like, as with our friendships and like our sisterhood, and that we get to bring this into the DS world too, into the Femdom realm, because like some of the most profound ways that my subs serve me is by being able to do this work with me, because this is the stuff that holds my heart, that strengthens my soul, that gives me the space to grow into more of myself and more of my power. Because I mean, I don't know if you know, but you probably do. Power is or can be scary, even your own power. And so stepping into another layer of that, because we get to learn how to wield a whole new, quote, like weapon or tool. And those all come with like risks and reward. And I basically have a team around me that's like, okay, woo, you got a new tool. All right, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. And there's this feedback. And then we find a way to use it or use that power of those tools, right, in a way that support the whole. And to have subs that support me in doing that work is so profound. And it's like, yeah, all the kinky, fun femdom, traditional femdom ways that a sub can serve can be great too, but not at the expense of not having the, I'm wording this really weird. It needs to be like on the backdrop of the deeper work for me. Otherwise, what is that? What is that? That play? Like, who am I as the person enjoying that, if not the one who has the depth? Because if I don't have the depth and have the support there, I can't actually really deeply enjoy the more superficial play. And not to say superficial is bad. I think there's definitely, it has its place. But yeah, the service runs deep.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think it makes a lot of sense the way that you framed it, because that deeper work, like that's the work that's being done regardless of whether or not the Dom mask is on. And so to reach that place in our connections, like, you know, almost like the deepest layer of trust that we can have with each other. Because it's like, whether I have the Dom mask on or not, this is my process.
Or a hat. I feel like it's a hat.
Oh, yeah. I like the hat. I love hats. So whether we're donning our Dom cap or not.
Cute. Oh, that's really cute. I like that a lot.
We can depend on these guys. And this last week, my boys know, but for the rest of you, it's been a zinger. It's been a challenge. I know. I feel like I'm like traveled back in time or something today. And so I did find those opportunities, like, you know, when a sub checks in and they're like, how are you today? Like, what do you need? And I'm in a super vulnerable space and maybe not even all the way clear of what that answer is. And so there's two options, right? Maybe I gloss over it. Maybe we don't get deep or real in that conversation. But then that, you know, it really isn't taking advantage of that opportunity for them, for him, and for myself to see how we navigate these maybe less preferred emotions as they come up. And then the other option is, you know, be as real as I can, you know, maybe be as real as I feel safe to, like, in that moment. And so that can include, like, just sharing the emotion, maybe sharing, like, you know, actually the practical things that are going on, or just appreciating them for holding space for me. And maybe I'm not ready to talk about it right now, but I can still appreciate that if I needed to, like, they're there for me. And I think I had a moment with each of my guys this week, and it was so vulnerable. And it was so, like, you know, I felt like I knew how it would land. I knew how they would receive it. And I really did feel held. So that's why, you know, I could be open about it. But at the same time, there's still that, like, not yet all the way comfortable with, like, putting that part of myself in a more public space. And yeah, like that idea, like, oh, I just want to come out, like, you know, nice and polished and sew together. And yeah, so it's been a great week. And I think some of the depth that I've reached has only come about because I found myself in, like, you know, pretty uncomfortable or more pressured, like, emotional states. Another version of myself would look at that as, like, more of a failure. Like, you're slipping, you know, you're losing your composure. But it's in those, just in those more raw spaces that I have the opportunity to let people get closer and to see that, the wall that was there, that was maybe, like, you know, buffering even myself from whatever tenderness I'm feeling. It's not necessary. I don't need that there. And even in this place, I'm loved and I'm cared for and I'm valued. And so.
And the buffer takes up space.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like you actually get more space when you're like, okay, we can move that out. And congrats on some next level vulnerability with your guys.
Thank you. You set a great example because I see you doing it.
You guys want to know something that I don't know how? I just didn't even connect this dot until you were speaking and it flashed before me. Wow, that sounded like, now I'm speaking like an old person. It happened in the studio about 6 feet from where I'm sitting. There was well, now I don't know about Instagram because womp womp, rest in peace my Instagram, hopefully it comes back. But on YouTube, it's definitely still lives long, and it did really well on my also rest in peace Twitter. There's just this one video I made, so short, and it really came from a very similar space to where my idea for today came from. And I just put out, it was like a little beacon of love, like speaking to the one who might be struggling. And I basically made it for myself and anybody else who was there. And I made that like I still have post-cry eyes, like a little puffy, slightly red, and making this video. And it got such a strong, like positive, strong response. And somehow I just kind of like forgot about like that's where it came from. I think somebody at some point commented like there'd be like a couple comments, "Are you okay?" You know? But like even when I watch it back, I'm like, there's a lot of love coming from a very raw place, but because it's so raw, that buffer's not there filtering out some of the rays of light of that love that would otherwise be filtered. And it's kind of freaky. I remember that being almost like an experiment. Like, first of all, I didn't make a lot of videos like that at that time, but I know that I need to hear those things. And like, where am I finding those videos? And I guess sometimes those will come up on Instagram or whatever, but I decided to make that because at least it's a gift for myself and it's a gift for whoever finds it. But it is scary. And we have those as examples too. And like your experience this week is strengthening that muscle that's like, okay, vulnerability is a strength. And we still need to work that muscle each time we practice vulnerability or do our reps or whatever. But it does get a little bit easier until maybe we put more weight on it. And it's like, oh, this is a really vulnerable level. Share. And now, it's next. Yeah, there's always levels and layers to it. Oh, you guys. I'll let Traveler say one more thing, but then I think we'll wrap this episode, even though I feel like we could go on forever. Really, really fast before Traveler, hold that thought for just one more moment. If you like episodes like this, tell us. Let us know, because this is also in many ways like an experiment we're running to see what it is that reaches you. What is it that you like? What touches your heart? What inspires you? What's fun or educational? You might have your preferences, and that's great. So tell us. We want your feedback. Yes, please.
Yes, we want to hear from you.
Yeah. All right, Traveler. Now we want to hear from you too.
This will actually tie us into our next episode, but I just wanted to say that.
Well, you don't know because you don't know what the next episode will be. I'll determine that. Apparently, I'm sliding episodes in left and right. So.
Fine. This will connect to a future episode, but I just wanted to say that this deep inner work that we do together really makes the play so much more profound. Because if we only did the surface level play, it wouldn't have any meaning. One thing that I've been amazed about is how something that on the surface or from the outside looking in seems maybe silly or doesn't have much depth really can when we have these deep connections with each other. For example, on a tour with Chalice and Amaya, there was a moment where
Amaya? Oh yeah, Nashville.
Yeah, and in Nashville there was
like Amaya. Where? Okay, I was already going into another story, so that's where assumptions come in. I thought we were talking about Texas, and I was like, "You got the names wrong." I'm just being so. Yes, Amaya and I went to Nashville. By the way, sorry. Little insert. Yeah. We made a travel vlog that I still need to edit and upload, and I think about it all the time, and then I have so many things, and then it keeps slipping through the cracks. But
reminder.
Yeah, this is a strong reminder. Now everybody can nag me about it if it's not up by the time you hear this.
We want the video.
They start spamming all the Patreon comments. Where's that travel vlog with Amaya? Hey. All right, go ahead and tell your story, Traveler Man.
Actually,
yeah, I know. I was going to do the same.
So there was a moment in Nashville where Chalice had me try playing with human furniture. And for me, it was something that I just didn't really understand. I didn't see the point of it, but I was like, okay, sure, I'm down. And so she had me on
Yeah, I
my
was about to say on all fours.
yeah, she had me on all fours, and the two ladies were sitting on the couch, and they put their feet up on my back. And again, I was thinking from the perspective of like, why is this a kink? What does it do for me in this position? And the thing that surprised me is it was just so cool that the two of you were just like laughing and giggling, and you guys
With,
were
like,
having such
cookies
a
on the
great
back.
time.
Aw.
You guys were having such a great time, and just being there to witness that and hold that space and be a part of that was so cool for me, because I care about the two of you so much. And so to witness the two of you being playful, being really in your feminine energy was just so cool to me. And I think that's only possible because of the connections that we have.
Yes, absolutely. And a little side note, but like it's so representative of you being a stable foundation in our life. Like the fact that we could put our feet up. So you were like providing us space to put our feet up, right? Relax, but also be solid. I think, you got some feedback of like, stop moving. Stop wiggling.
No
Stop
talking.
shaking. Tables don't talk or footstools don't talk, right? But the ability to be like, oh yeah, and like, I don't know what you need to do to stabilize when you're in that position, but like maybe you're like tighten your core, maybe you focus your mind, maybe you like, what is it that you do to be stable, and see that as a reflection of what you're doing in our life in a grand way. And again, it means so much more when you're in that moment as a human footstool, because it mirrors life and so many layers, and yeah, the depth of the relationship and the connection. So my friends and our listeners, if you need to cry and you haven't cried for a while, just get on a call with one of us. But really, if you want to dive deep and have these connections and hold space for us, or have space held for yourself, and likely both, reach out. Don't be afraid. We don't bite too hard, not without consent, of course. And yeah, we're here for you. We're here to do this and do this together. And that's with you if you show up. And we're happy to welcome you into the folds, or under our wings.
Agreed. We would love to meet you and work with you and show you through experience what this process is, because it's one thing to listen to us talking about it, and it's another thing to actually show up and go through the process, go through the feelings. And we would love for that bridge, that connection to be made.
Yeah, we talk a lot about, that we like that true connection, that true relationship. And so I'm happy we got to share a little bit more about those things today. And yeah, like Rachel said, like you have to take that step. You have to be vulnerable. You have to put yourself out there and yeah, pursue what you're looking for.
And also for the ladies, for the doms, we are working on a sisterhood circle so we can do this together. So everything that we've mentioned, I know oftentimes we're speaking to the subs, but this is available for you too. And we want to be able to share this work with the women as well, because yeah, we need it. And honestly, my work with the men is also for us women. So we want to connect with you and support you in these ways as well.
Absolutely.
Make sure you head over to the femdomrevolution.com. And for the ladies, you will see a little banner at the bottom of, I think it's a page that's actually for women. And you just enter your email and it'll get you added to an email list. So when we roll out the sisterhood circle or like a mentorship program, you will be notified. And subbies, same site, femdomrevolution.com. You can click on our DOMs and you can explore each of our pages and you'll get all the info that you need on the website. So we look forward to your applications.
We also have, coming soon to the Discord, we are starting a men's group. 'Cause we need
Mhm.
more men that support each other and what we go through. So I'm working on getting that set up, and we're going to get in there and be vulnerable together and work through our issues.
So exciting.
Very
This is
exciting.
literally a dream come true. Amanda, as you witnessed me drunk crying about this like 4 years ago, about how desperately I was like, please, I was begging a couple of my guy friends, please make a men's circle. I can't do it. I'm a woman. I did my best to make one as a woman, but we need a space just for the men. So thank you very much, Traveler, for taking that on.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Traveler.
And it's not necessarily a men's circle, but there are a lot of men there. We have the Locked Boys Chastity group hosted in the Discord. So if you're interested in learning some discipline and playing with some chastity and some accountability, just kidding, it's great. And games, we host, basically what I just said, accountability, tasks, games in that Discord server. It's year round, so you're welcome anytime. Just head over to femdomrevolution.com/chastity and you'll get all the information that you need there.
Getting pretty good at that.
Yeah, I know. I'm honing it in. Just in time to record an outro and never do it again. Just kidding. Actually, we'll probably do it again and again. But thank you so much for joining us and opening your hearts to some deeper conversations like this. It feels really good to share these parts of, I'll speak for myself, but share these parts of myself with you. So thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye now.
Adios.
Traveler's sign off is always going to be adios.
Yeah.
All right. See you on the next episode.